pistol to be able to come through and really forge themselves in the fires of this game. We've got our partners over at LootBet chatting us out with some odds, and they are unsurprisingly in favor of SYMAN by quite a bit. A 140 to 280 odd is pretty heavily in favor of SYMAN. I would actually completely agree with that, to be honest. I think that's right where it should be. KDO, though, he is the one I've got my eye out on the minimap. He's got the grenade in his hand, could be doing a lot of damage. Budapest 5 seem to be wanting to go for a slightly puggier strat. He's even crouching down because that allows you to see the feed a little bit earlier on. And you can see he's given him enough space for himself, enough space for a run-up as well. Smokes and whatnot are coming in. Grenade goes through. It's good damage, but can he follow up? No, he can't. Corey comes in, always the man in charge, always the man with a plan, and always the man with a gun to your head. Coming through with more. 2 further frags found, and it's Norbert and Kios left versus 5. Budapest 5, that is, and Budapest 5 should be able to walk away with this pretty cleanly. Corey, 4 kills so far, looking for the ace. Kios will at least deny that, but beyond that, all he can really look to find is some extra money in the coffers, get a few kills, get those extra $300, but it's actually Trozy to be able to do that. And what a round from Corey. Entering in with 4 kills, and I talked about how good Corey is. I talked about how Corey is the man to keep an eye out for, and you can see it right there. Unfortunately, despite getting a decent nade out, SYMAN just weren't able to connect with their first kill from Kios, and that was crucial. If you're not getting that, you will end up being pushed down a little bit too much, perhaps. Mo, meanwhile, flashed up. Smoke goes out. Corey and Batito are facing off against a lot of CTs, but this is an easy enough cleanup. They do lose 3 players, including one to the good old Zeus. Mo finding himself the chicken-killing machine. It's actually funny that the Zeus kills sound more like a chicken dying than the actual chickens dying to win Counter-Strike. There aren't any chickens on train, actually. I just realized that. I can't believe I've been playing and casting this game for 6 years, and I just realized there are no chickens on train. Wonder what they eat. Not the chickens, the people. Makes sense, though. It's the train side, probably not best for any sort of livestock. That being said, though, we get a quick little replay of that round. Nothing particularly tactical going on there, nothing particularly fancy. Now, though, we have a big old AWP in Torzy's hands, and this is a big round where he can really come into his own and make something happen, because there's not going to be that much utility to block him off. There's smokes, yes, but beyond that, nothing else. Unfortunately, he's maybe going for the wrong pick. He's expecting SYMAN to be getting aggressive towards the brown halls and trying to find a kill to compensate for the fact that their firepower is not that great, their utility is not that great. And that's a good shout, but unfortunately doesn't find him any. Corey, in the meanwhile, though, does just entry in onto the bomb side, get 2 quick kills over there. KDO has to step up, has to bring it back, because Mo and Chaos have done their job, but Torzy's here now. He's found the first, Mo's down. He should know that KDO still likes to play this B-bomb side, and this angle's great. Can he find anything? Molotov will be thrown out, but before that, Fliav has already inaugurated his first kill, and with that, maybe even the round. But they still have to be careful. Kios is playing around these corners, is coming around, and he will find a bit of spray, but not the kill. Pulls out the USP, and he knows he's in a lot of trouble. Turns around because he heard the flashbang being thrown by Torzy, and Fliav is able to take advantage of that by taking him down. Not the cleanest round from Budapest 5, but off the back of 2 great entries from Corey, they were in a place where at least a 2 versus 3 was possible. Corey is still looking like a beast, though. I'm always so happy to see him perform, because it's such an entertaining style of play where he just walks in and headshots down 2 people. But SYMAN, you know what? They're actually putting up a bit of more of a fight than I thought. You know, losing out 2 people early on and getting 3 frags immediately, that's not that easy. So props to them for making it happen. Now it is Coolio's playing ground, though. Now it is Coolio saying, Corey, please let me get these kills. I've got a Mach 10, but as it turns out, even if Corey lets you have them, Norbert may not. Norbert takes the man down. Corey finding 2 again, but Nealon with 3 digs, and this could be difficult. Bodito left alone. All of his teammates gone by the wayside, and Nealon will find the 4th. Norbert started things off with a nice little 1 dig, but Nealon shows us how it's done. And look at that replay. It's going to be looking fantastic. First, Corey goes down. Nealon comes through with 2 more, and then the final beauty as Bodito's left in a 1 versus 3 just to shut down any chance and any hope. Now, remember, Budapest 5 does have a bye, but it's a lot weaker than it would have been had they not had to win a 2 versus 3 earlier on. Similarly, SYMAN, man, they're actually starting to build up some money. They're more than happy about this. So let's see how this goes. AKs need to put in some good work. And Coolio, he is production, don't make me laugh by bad puns in the chat. Speaking of great things that shouldn't make people laugh, Mo takes down Bodito. Very easy shot for him, even though Bodito was crouched down. Mo will generally hit those. Corey now looking to get aggressive, drops down, but it's Norbert to intercept and take him out. Norbert immediately re-smokes off T-Con, which means that these Ts have to be funneled up to brown holes. Ricadio awaits, and over here, he can just clean them up, but he can't finish them off. He does bring them down very low, enough that they're within a tickle's breadth of death. Mo has to step up here, and he does find the 1, but unfortunately, Fia is good for more than that. Remember, Torzi with 5 HP still deadly. He has the AWP, the bomb should be planted, and that's where the one to make a play has to be key off. Fleeve, or Fleeve, I'm not actually sure. Fleeve will be going down. Norbert will be the one to take him to the grave. And Torzi, now that he's mollowed off the bomb train, is still peeking out, is still trying to find something, but he's caught out by Kios, who's still in the back lines. I'm going to check Twitch chat very quickly, and I need someone to tell me whether it's Fleav or Fleeve. I don't actually know this.
Bomb has been defused. Counter-terrorists win.
I'm hoping someone does, because generally there is someone in chat who knows. But, oh, I actually just went to the A stream instead of the B stream. Whoops. That is my mistake. You know what, though? We'll check that out later. The next game, the next round is beginning. We have the double AWP on the CT side. 3 nades from Budapest 5 looking to do some damage, but damage will not be enough. They tickle Norbert between the bomb train. Isn't much you can really do over there. Chaos chimes in, takes down Torzi as well. And with this, it looks like it should be a very clean anti-eco. Nothing like what we saw from Budapest 5. And Nealon, he's coming through big, but he's re-peaked for too long. He stayed his ground, and as a result of that, will be taken down. Only casualty so far from the city side, and with Coolio going down, Fleav does get a chance to add 1 more to the tally, but the CTs keep the Magic 3 players alive, so money can continue to be built up. So SYMAN having a nice little throw around to keep things under control. Marlow goes out to make sure there's no one rushing Speedway. Norbert's also gotten a lot of information about where these players are. Coolio, the poor guy, is just crouched down all across. You know he's just been taken down by the wallbang over there sometime recently. Kadio, again, he's probably going to be in time with the Molotov, but he's taken so much damage that his efficacy is ridiculously reduced. Now he's relying on Norbert to maybe go for the flank. KDO has to step up. Mo in the back lines with the AWP as well. The question is, can then anything? It's still KDO on the M4. Mo waiting for the peak. He was able to get this kill earlier, so they should know where he is, but that's where the smoke will help out. Neil and is now on the site, though. There are too many players here. Budapest will not have an easy time, but they don't care about ease. They care about the kills they're getting, and Fliav and Badito will be cleaning them up quickly. Mo's good for one, but with a double up, it's probably better to save unless Mo can hit some nasty flicks. That's pretty unlikely, though. And even though they look like they want to go for the retake, this is going to be so difficult. But Torzi presents himself, and that turns into a 2v2 with an AK picked up. Unfortunately, though, the peak comes out, and Kios is left in a 1v1. Now, he's got the AK and the flick. He gets it done. Brilliant stuff right there. And we've got ourselves a fantastic man over here to tell us exactly how that went.
I get to kind of witness things as it all transpires. A nice little clutch towards, or as I join into the stream. So some good stuff from Simon. I apologize. I'm kind of tuning in and getting into the action a little bit late, but I kind of need you to fill me in and get the rundown. How have things been looking? Because things, I mean, scoreline wise, we're kind of close.
I've got this. Okay. Corey is a good player. Corey's a really good player. And there's a lot of other really good players too. Simon's got some great players too. Chaos is also a great player. There you go so far. It has been a fairly straightforward affair though. Budapest 5 taking away the pistol round and off the back of that finding 2 rounds there. KDO again coming in, finding that one quick kill, but Corey to take him down. Mo, AWP is up, and he is now down. 3v3.
Well, now they're just playing things out a little bit slower, trying to see if they can get a handle on where these last Simon players are. And well, the 3v3 is very, very enticing. They've got utility, they've got kits available as well, and the problem is this position from Corey. They're trying to flush him out into the open. They know it's a possibility. He survives on 1 HP to get away with that. Eventually traded by Neil, and now Simon, they'll move forward. They're trying to get a bit more ground to work with Norbert. Oh no, they don't clear out Coolio. He's wrapped around from the other side. And Norbert, he's dancing up high. He falls from above trying to find the frag, but Coolio seals it in. It's Budapest to equalize once again.
Oh, man, this is a little bit of a slugfest on either side so far. Yeah. Budapest 5 is relying on their firepower, but there's quite a bit of power in our case partners as well. And since George is jumping in, do you want to take over that one for me? Well, I mean, I don't have the sheet open.
The single, I mean, one of the most well-known case opening sites with over 100 cases. There's updated case battles, giveaways almost every other month, and well, you can use the promo codes to save and get what you deserve. You won't get bored with Hellcase. They've got a lot of action on that website. Our partners are doing a good job over there.
Indeed.
Well, the buy from Simon is certainly not ideal in this round. Budapest 5 are going to be hard-pressed to get a full read into this. The Deagles, the AWP, and just a singular rifle. And the aggression from Simon in this round just to put a bit more pressure, try and make it use of those pistols in a more effective way is certainly to be felt. I mean, going into the team main, Kios in towards ladder, he sees the feet, but just cannot land the frag. It's a bit of a heartbreaker for Simon, but they've got some damage done. And with Budapest 5 only with 40 seconds left to get themselves into this site, there's still things that can go wrong here.
Well, Mo's scoped in at the wrong point. Unfortunately, he's relying on Norbert to come through massively and really help out. Norbert's positioning is going to be key, though. Flashbang's coming in. Norbert needs to peek out. Nealon's giving him the distraction they need, but it's only Mo to find a kill so far. He follows it up, though. He's always fantastic around the red train, but unfortunately, the third kill is a bit too much of an ask, even from KDO left alone. Will swing out and will swing out of the round. So I have a question, Yumi. Is it Fleave or Fliav? Because I don't really know.
I would have gone with Fleave. but
Okay.
I think there's always a discrepancy between what we think is the right way to say a name and what the player will think is the right way to say a name. I've got a number in my name. People will go, is it UM3? Is it UM3? And
No, yours is pretty clear.
yeah, I mean, for me it felt pretty clear, but it's always a bit difficult.
All right. Leading us. That's the problem. Simon's problem is their economy, though. And they don't have very much of it. Julia jumping down is caught off. Oh, quick little kill with the Mac 10.
Yeah, I think it was that one instance where Coolio gets a player jumping straight at him. He tries to do his best impression. So that looked like fun. And with the SMG, it's that much more effective. There's no sort of surprises in this round. SYMAN losing that B-bomb site very rapidly, and well, just making sure they don't feed too much money into this SMG if possible. Really looking forward to, well, I hope to be a bit more forward placings from SYMAN. I mean, we saw in that in the round where it was a bit of an awkward buy. The two rifles I brought through and the Deagles, they got a little bit more aggressive. They tried to be a bit more disruptive into the Budapest 5 default, but in a proper gun round, I've yet to really see it.
Well, the surprising thing over here for me is this is actually SYMAN's best map, and they have been having a hard time coming to grips with the situation in Budapest 5, even though we haven't really seen much too fancy from that side. I mean, that's a nice little shot there. I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of fancy, but not tactically fancy. More just like, I will kill you right in your tracks fancy. Norbert playing around in the pulpits of doggies. Yes, that is the real way to say pop dog. You gotta give it a nice little pat on the back and say, who's a good puppy doggy. Fleeve, however, is a very puppy, and he's popping off Kios's head, as is Norbert. It seems like there's a lot of that going around in this train. The 3v4 favoring Budapest 5 means that SYMAN probably has to go for a gamble pretty soon. If they want to cheat KDO over towards his A bomb side, I find it too much because they can just save afterwards if they're not coming to A. Budapest 5, the world is their oyster right now, but unfortunately time is not. 50 seconds on the clock, and with things being run down, this could get tricky. Oh, that's a cool point of view.
The smokes will sail over. And cool cams or not, there needs to be shots hit by Budapest 5. SYMAN for now have gone unchecked. They're not showing anything. Norbert, a lovely shot to equalize the affair here for SYMAN, and that's when Keelan will pull the trigger. He moves forward. The bomb dropped as well. 20 seconds left to get this recovered and into a place where they can get this planted. Torzi, they have really no idea that Neil is in the back lines, and while Bidito will try his darndest, Cade seals in the round. SYMAN hold on to that A site.
What a round from Neil. He's sitting on 8 for 8, but for context, both of these rounds where he's had amazing kills have been huge impact rounds for his team. First, it was with the Deagle. He was able to get 4K and just completely take over an eco round from them. He didn't even have armor there, so it wasn't even a full force buy. Now, it comes through with fantastic positioning, make sure he can take advantage of the time that Norbert has bought him, and completely wipes the deck. Beautifully done, and that's exactly what you hope to see from the side of Budapest 5. Now, though, first speak, not quite as successful as last time for Tosi, and Kios is probably pretty great for that.
There's a lot more IV pressure being placed here by Budapest 5. And the instant reaction from SYMAN, they've put a bit more pressure in towards T main. They've got Norbert in towards ladder, but the Molotov, that small instance of damage, that could give up the game here. There's a couple players grouped up in that position, while Fleeve is the solitary player for Budapest in that spot. Does mean that he'll be a little bit more privy to a very close-up player. He also flash on through towards Ivy. He feels the pain. There's so many players on Budapest so ready for the fight.
Fleeve is just trying to dart around Pop Dog, give himself some time, but there's 2 players down there. If he can keep them distracted, even that's huge, and that means Corey can jump in. Mo, he didn't have any support. Nealon has to step up, and will do so with Norbert. They're both able to find a kill up, not expecting the double Pop Dog setup, and this is where KDO becomes so incredibly vital. He's coming from the back lines. He's found one. It's a 2 versus 2, and the bomb is dropped. Nealon comes in again. He's massive. And KDO will finish things off. Such a nicely played round.
Another gun round, another close one of that, because the casualties are felt across the board. SYMAN cannot get a grip of this economy. Budapest are constantly just bringing it into these sort of 2vx or 3vx situations, and it really is coming down to just these small outplays or these small repositions that are coming in towards the tail end of these rounds that makes all the difference, especially when you're in sort of clutch situations. Train is terrifying to sort of come up against because there are so many angles you have to be concerned about at any given time, in particular on that A-bomb site, just because of how how much cover these trains give you to play with. And well, SYMAN in these past few have looked pretty good in sealing out these rounds. Budapest are doing a good job of getting that space initially.
Also, Twitch chat has told me there's Fleeve. So, you were right. Good stuff.
But is that Twitch guy right? It's so...
I mean, there are like 7 of them.
It's a vicious cycle.
You know that.
Okay.
They're probably wrong. Keel's not quite finding any kills over here. It's Nealon who's stepping up. He has been really good so far, but Keel's also gets his time to shine, and that's an easy enough cleanup. All 5 players kept alive.
Yeah, good stuff. They get a bit more money coming into these next few rounds. They have that buffer for the last round of the half as well. So good marks for SYMAN. But I mean, Budapest 5, 6 rounds on the T side is acceptable. It's a pretty good scoreline to have going into the half, and if they can get another one, that would go certainly the distance. Oh, Corey in towards Olaf very, very early. The Molotov, he's burning alive, and Nealon makes it in an accelerated death. It's an 1-for-0 exchange over from SYMAN to start off this round. Budapest have led the way in some of these entries, but well, Cade even pushes the boundaries from behind in ladder.
Dorsey was not expecting that, and Keel's position might not be either. He's got a great off-angle repositions to give himself some cover, and he'll even be able to back off because the TPs have smoked this off. Norbert finds the kill through that smoke, and Fleeve, well, he's just another kill for Nealon to find. Nealon's been really good on this A side so far, to be honest. He's jumped from 8-8 to 14-8 in front of our very eyes. It's really nice to see. He's actually probably the player who should be able to push them to 9 rounds potentially. Even these 8 rounds, a lot of it comes down to his play on the A-bomb side.
Yeah, it feels like every time we're watching him on the A side as well, we find him in a different spot, still doing the same damage, right? So he's kind of he personalizes the idea of just being in unpredictable and making it so that it's difficult for your opponent to track where you might be. He has been an elusive man on that A site. The spam damage done to start off the round, you can see Budapest don't want to suffer too much more of that damage.
Mo, however, unfortunately backs off at the wrong time, does chuck out the Molotov, and that'll do good damage. It'll allow KDO and Norbert to completely clean up this house of cards, as it does come tumbling down. Keel's not spotted yet, coming in from behind. A few shots there and there, but we can forgive that. That's okay. Please, with the CZ, not really good for any kills either. And there you have it, 9-6. SYMAN, despite a rocky start with Budapest 5, running away with quite a bit. Budapest 5 isn't really able to continue through, and they lose a few ecos here and there, but more than anything else, I think that was just some fantastic play coming out from Keels and Nealon, and the rest of them as well, but particularly those two.
Yeah, you could just see from the rounds here. Some of this is filling me in as well. Just the fact that this was a bit kind of streaky back and forth. You had these sprees of rounds from both teams. Is at least I mean, that's kind of how you want your CT sides to go as well. You don't want to suffer at the hands of fate back and forth, because eventually you'll end up with a broken economy. And Simon just seemed to be able to get a grip of that pretty early on. Well, our partners over at LoopBet seem to be favoring Simon. They hold the lead to start off the second half. And well, I think there's a bit of merit to be had for Budapest 5. I do certainly see where they're coming from.
Well, Budapest 5 is actually a fairly weak T-side team on train, in my opinion. So I actually think they're happy with 6. I don't entirely agree with the odds, but a lot of it comes down to this pistol. Nealon, long range with the P250, taking a duel that maybe he shouldn't be, as he's missing a lot of shots, and Fleeve will take him down. Now, though, with the 2 players of Budapest 5 pushing to brown holes, they know it's a full A-side hit. Torsi looking for that one quick tap towards the box, but Fleeve goes down. Torsi finds it, but it's a trade. Simon have still got to contend with Corey, though, and that is the big boy in the pistols, both him and Coolio.
Oh, Badito as well, finding a kill just before this bomb gets planted by Simon. Brings them that small man advantage now moving forward, and it prevents them from repositioning Bodito and Corey to sweep everything up. As soon as that bomb's planted, the round is over. They cannot move, they cannot get out of the site, and Budapest take the pistol.
Really good stuff at the end of the day. You look over towards... You look over towards Budapest 5, and what we have to keep in mind is that this team of some crazy individual players. Yep. They don't always have the tactical depth to some of their maps, but there's a reason why Train's their second best map. And it's because on this CT side, it's so incredibly difficult to get past their wall of individuality, where you can actually come through and say, oh, hey, it's okay. We'll just outgun them, even if our flashes and whatnot don't work. You really need to be tactically solid to take them down over here. So Simon's not out of the water just yet, but they definitely do still have a chance to bring things back. Some fantastic aimers on their side as well.
Oh, well, that's a bit of a drive-by peek from Fleeve. That's way to start things down. While these pistols are looking to do as much damage as possible, there's not going to be too many opportunities. Fleeve, he's just taking names, taking heads. Torzi as well will join in the action, and well, if they don't find any kills, the idea really keep the economy of the CTs somewhat compelling, but I mean, yeah, they're having a good time on Budapest. Yeah. They're hitting some nice shots, and that bolsters the confidence, especially in rounds like this where it doesn't always seem the most important to hold on to an MP9, but give your opponents an inch, because sometimes they do take a mile.
Listen, man, they're just teaching the Simon players how to do a backflip. That was a fun shot to watch, put it that way. 9-8, Budapest 5 getting close to the equalizer, but no AWP out on Torsi, and that's always my question for him, because he's all right with rifles, don't get me wrong, but his explosiveness on the AWP is completely different. And it's something which does sometimes bite him, because it seems like he relies on it as a crush at times, where he's re-peeking in like a madman, and that can come back against you, but you still want your star to be taking those risks and whatnot when you're down like this.
The separation from good and great certainly be a distinctive one. One to pull in that signature play. And unfortunately, we don't get to see it. The rifles for the CT side, in fact, no ops on the server, really. So no easy contest for one or the other. And while a lot of damage and sight lines are teased, nobody actually falling as of yet for either side. No really significant damage outside of that nade.
Well, it seems like it will be a straightforward execute from Simon. Corey finds a kill through that smoke, and that will be difficult to deal with. But, as I say, talk about difficulties. Budapest 5 doesn't know where exactly the T's are going. The T's don't have a bomb, however, and Norbert with another kill through the smoke. Torzi's taken down. Neon's position is fantastic. He actually has cover of that smoke to take a quick peek out to that CT, but he can't finish off the spray. Fleeve will take him down. Benito, in the meanwhile, he's dancing around the ramp to see what he can find. Norbert pushes forward to turn it into a 2v2. Bomb should be planted, but Mo's feeling a little bit dicey, and he should be because Fleeve can actually spot him out, can take him down, but because he's crouch walking forward, he will be located. If only he'd been a little bit less safe about that, could have been a round out for Budapest 5.
Yeah, overly cautious. You could understand why. Low HP on him as he's attempting the clutch, but a little bit faster pace, a bit more height on the play as well would have certainly gone a long way, would have made things a little bit more competitive, but SYMAN are to double digits first. They seal out the round instead, and while Budapest had tried their best to get a grip to that CT side economy as fast as possible, they do not accomplish that goal. Just onto the pistols this round, and it's that same objective now for them on the CT side. And I usually like a little bit more of a concerted effort. I know we've talked about how buying some utility on the CT side is certainly undervalued, and well, just given that it's these pistols, they're just holding these long range angles, they're hoping to get these duels, and well, in the meantime, SYMAN just walk out where they're not looking.
Julio in the back lines is kicked out of those back lines. It's an unfortunate situation. Turns out they don't want him there anymore, and death is delivered. Kios will be the Reaper. Very good anti-eco round so from SYMAN, and that is something we have to give them some praise for, simply because a lot of teams lose out too much on their T side, thinking, oh, hey, it's fine. We don't really care about it. We don't need to be too methodical. Once we know we've won the round, let's just go hunt like crazy, even if there's 3-4 players left alive. But SYMAN, they're making sure their economy is going to be in a good place, because in the next round, that's where Budapest 5 will be having Corey drop over an AWP. And Corey, who's peeking out wide, will fall. But wasn't really much for him to save at that point anyway.
Yeah, the reason we put so much emphasis on clean anti-ecos is because of just how deadly those second rounds and those pistols have been for a while. But I mean, even in our days casting Malta Vibes together, obviously you didn't join me yesterday, but the amount of rounds that are sort of ecos or anti-ecos, or it shouldn't even be close, but then it comes down to a 1v1 or a 2v1 at the end is, yeah, it goes a long way just to cut that out of the equation. Don't even let that be a factor. Don't give them a chance in rounds that they shouldn't really.
It's pretty crazy. That's true.
Well, I want to see the Budapest 5 with Torzi making some big plays. He's got his hands on the AWP. Mo has his as well, so it's going to be a bit of a back and forth between these two should the opportunity present itself. While Torzi went for picks like this on his T side, he won't be given that opportunity. Mo even going so far as to spam him down to 50, and Torzi, he'll have to back himself away. Meanwhile, Budapest, they push in towards inner, and they finally kill in the brown holes.
Great pick to find as well, because now you can back off and just very quickly bring 4 players onto the A side, because there's a minute and a half left, and that's exactly where SYMAN is going. So this Ivy player has to come up big and find a quick kill. Unfortunately, Torzi's got some information. That information might not be too useful, as Kadio's moved in, finds one, re-peeking out for more. He's hoping to win out that duel against the Farmers, but he has to reposition because he's afraid about Torzi. The question is, do they realize where he is, and does it even matter? Corey sees him, but Kadio's got a great flick, which brings him onto Corey's head.
Also probing the site, Torzi with the AWP, Fleeve as well, chiming in both at similar times. Now pulls onto Kadio, and he has no real chance. Has to wrap himself around. The bomb was dropped in front of the ladder, so they had to take that fight towards Old Bomb. And while it will be A bit of a tough pill to swallow, given that Budapest get aggressive and they see a lot of success in doing so. SYMAN now pushed back into what could be another buy, but Nealon cannot afford anything, so a bit of a decision to be made.
Well, this timeout is kind of surprising to me, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, I thought SYMAN would want to just keep going because what a fantastic few rounds they've had in this T side. I can really see why this is SYMAN's most played map. It's not most played, sorry, most won map. Put it that way. It's getting pretty clear to me.
Well, your clarity does not reflect on the scoreboard at the moment. There's a bit of a gap closer potential here for Budapest. They win this, they'll likely equalize in this map. So while the polish may certainly be there in certain times from SYMAN, the round wins are also what matter. KDO, he gets so far out towards Olaf, it makes a world of a difference. The bomb drops towards B though, and Fleeve is doing damage, so much so he delays the bomb from getting planted that little bit longer, and now it comes into that 2v2. Kios and Mo, can they seal it in here for SYMAN, or will Budapest get another retake underway?
Corey's positioning is so scary. It's so hard to pre-fire that angle as well because you have to jump on, but he repositions, and because of that, he goes down. Kios will find that quick kill, but is it enough of a distraction for bo1 to come in from behind? He gets one, but he had to make a lot of noise, couldn't be using that trigger discipline. He even flicks himself onto the bomb, but now he's going to have to stick it. They're going to be checking this soon. Mo can find his head. The smoke not quite in place to prevent that from happening, and if that bomb hadn't been planted on top of the train, I think Mo would have won that. Because when you're on top of the train, you cannot fake defuse because you have to drop down, and that always makes noise. I don't think it's possible to drop from that train without making noise, is it?
Not from that particular position. I think it has to be from the middle of the train, right? So it's kind of a long way to travel just to get a silent fall. Certainly didn't help that the smoke didn't fully cover the defuse either, but a bit of fortune favoring SYMAN in that 1v1. And well, ooh, a 1-for-1 exchange in towards Brown Holes. Norbert has it under control though. A couple of kills his direction, and it's not the best buy from Budapest. A desperation one at that, because this could potentially give SYMAN a lot more distance. Corey in towards T main. He's found at least a kill of his own. He equalizes the affair. It suffers a lot of damage in the process, but now SYMAN are working closer and closer to this A site. Pressure building.
bo1, Molotov has been thrown out, but no information on the back of that. Remember, Mo didn't take any damage. He has to manually check for this. The Deagle can't come in for a quick kill, which is required. But they do have the rifles right around the corner as well to give him a nice bit of cover. Torzi with the M4 over on Heaven. But the big duel is between Norbert and... Actually between Norbert and Corey over here. Corey is downed, and that's huge. Norbert can now step in. They know where bo1 is, but they will be taking the first duel with Torzi. However, it's a great position from Kios. He realizes his angles, and Mo is anticipating Torzi's position. That's so nicely done. Kios knew perfectly that Budapest 5 has been putting a player up in Heaven very often in the past few rounds, and he adjusts for that so nicely.
I mean, just the fact that each of those SYMAN players is separate. Usually there's a trade or a couple players grouped up together so that it's guaranteed frags. They were right into all the positions there from Budapest, such that they were taking individual fights, which can go really askew, but it just seems that they had a good and firm enough read on where Budapest were in that 3v3. It was very well played from the SYMAN roster. And they've got a bit more room to breathe. 4-round separation, a very high likelihood of a 5th, and while Nealon makes that as convincing as possible with kills on the A bomb site, yeah, there's not much hope in a round like this. A 14 is pretty much guaranteed.
Terrorists win.
Oh,
And there it is.
it's always so scary when you don't get immediate headshot kill
Yeah.
through the heaven windows, because you're just thinking, oh yeah, it's just a window, who cares? But that's some reinforced glass right there, man. Not bulletproof, but you know, it'll make sure you don't die.
Yeah, I
From
think
one
it's the
bullet,
bane of Orper's existence.
That's actually true. It's so bad whenever,
Yeah.
especially if you're opping from up in heaven. It's even worse then. But Keo's trying to move in quickly. However, he's punished. Bandito to intercept his head and Corey to come in with another as well. They've got a long way to go, but it's a good way to start. Nealon being low is also difficult, but we've seen Simon pull out so much from so little. Can this be one of those rounds where Norbert almost finds Cleve and actually Mo to finish him off and get another? Nealon now in a 1v3.
Yeah, not a whole lot of HP to make this feasible. One duel goes even slightly askew, and yeah, that's it. That's the round done. That looked like Simon got a bit confident. The timings were off on the flashes and the initial utility towards Team A, and the fact that Keo's just runs out, head down, and there's nothing to really prevent the CT side from just shooting at him is a bit of a mismanagement of timings there from the T side. So they may have got a little bit over antsy. They had that 5-round separation to just try to put that final nail in the coffin, but they've thrown all the nails out, Budapest 5. They want you to have to go to the store and buy a few more.
Well, I don't know if the stores are open, though. That's the problem. That's where you've got to figure it out. Can you actually get those nails?
I know for sure I cannot produce them from scratch, so...
Well, Simon will have to. They've got to start hammering them in soon. Otherwise, Budapest 5 gets put in a position where they're in possession of the AWP on Tarzi again. Now, you don't have much money on the T side either. If you lose this round, you don't have a buy in the next one. Unless you're able to get a bomb pot. Even then, it's sketchy. So, this is a big one. Nealon, however, he realizes that. He just goes forward, mollies it out deep, revealing himself in the process as well. And now the flashes are coming through, but they're so far forward in the CTs. They've got full control over Pop Dog and T-Con, finding all the kills, and it looks like Budapest 5 should have run away with this one as well. Mo next to fall.
Oh, sorry. They won a round from Budapest 5. Just the fact that they're able to create so much space by going for a reaction in towards Team Main just made a world of a difference. It was about recovering those last couple of kills. And, well, Simon, they just couldn't get it done. A good effort, though, to bring it at least a little closer from that T side.
Huh. Good time for the pause, though.
Yeah.
Come through from Budapest 5 for me. I really want to see them get a grip on themselves, because so far they've been looking like they're very confident in the past 3 rounds. Like in the previous round, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna repeat some of the stuff you said because I'm not sure if it went out on the broadcast. I think you were muted for a second.
Yeah, that's fine.
But in the previous round, especially, you see them taking that strong position, plus E-Box moving in where they know that we can be safe from Ivy if we're just clustered in front of E-Box as well. So they completely ignore Ivy. They go for the full gamble, and it pays off so nicely. Now, though, the question is, can they get past the Deagles? Because these Deagles can be deadly. KDO is not landing the shots he needed, and Bandito barely gets away to safety. KDO does clip a nade to the feet, but he's okay with this. It's good damage down into Bandito. It means he has to play a lot more safely. It's not like it's Starzy where you've got the, oh, I'm an opera, it's okay. Speaking of, it's not okay. Starsky's an opera. He goes down there. Norbit immediately 1Ds him. Good old mini op.
Yeah, the mini ult working wonders. Cade as well gets his to operate. Not quite to the same levels, but still the same result. SYMAN with a couple of nice opening picks with the pistols, and this causes a lot of issues here for Budapest. When you're down men on the CT side, you just get stretched so far thin. And while the rifle, or the AWP rather, from Torsi isn't recoverable, they've got their hands on this M4, and they're looking to play around it as best they can. In fact, most of the players grouping up towards Ivy. That's where the majority of the pressure will build towards this A site for SYMAN.
And Budapest 5, they know they've got to save over here, or just get really, really lucky. Either way, it's not really the most consistent of strategies to win a round. Now, they will redirect their efforts back towards that, but even there, you can see how defensively they're playing from Ultra, and they want these long-range duels, but there are deagles on the other side, so it's not going to be free by any stretch of the imagination. Flashbangs will help, but whoa, Corey! Great shot straight to the head of Kios, but he's still very low. He shouldn't be able to survive for too long. With the bomb being down, they've got kits on all of them at the very least. However, the man to keep an eye out for is Coolio. He's the one with full HP coming into the connector. Finds the first. KDO is down. Mo, B250 at the ready. Great shot. Coolio's been down as well. And with that, everyone's on low HP. Anyone can win this round. Guns do not matter at this point. Nealon is getting aggressive. He sees one of the players' rifles, but he knows that the bomb's not being defused, so he doesn't want to reveal himself. And with that, they'll be able to win the Deagle round on the SYMAN side. Corey barely gets away with 2 HP.
What a close and nerve-wracking round. That shot from Corey, that is the one that equalizes things. You can just see how difficult it is in these 3vx's, these 2vx, just in general, these clutch and afterplant positions. Even though it was just pistols from that SYMAN side, very, very hard to progress into the bomb site without a sight line that the T's can operate out of. A crucial shot being hit by Mo to really seal that round in for SYMAN. That was just pistols that they've done that with. So now that the rifles are out, you could do one better. And oh, Coolio, reactionary play in towards the ground holes, and Nealon finds both the kills necessary. Corey, though, a good effort to respond and equalize.
And this puts things very much on the equal footing, actually, because now you've got the pretty much identical firepower on either side. Yep. Corey, however, does peek out and loses some of that firepower, but at least he has Bodito to back him up. Kios to be the trade, but Torzi and his scout, unfortunately, not finding the shot they needed. Cade, 3 HP on him. Mo knows he needs to do the heavy lifting. Last round was a big effort from him as well, but right now he's been tagged down. So now the question is, who can run away with it?
Torsi's tagged down both of these players as well, so that just makes Bodito so much more lethal on this flank. They've separated. They want nothing to do with each other. Just, okay, you have your own fights, I'll take mine.
Good luck, my friend.
Very, very much so. The AWP of Mo will make things a little bit easier for him, but it's all about timings from KDO. Mo holding the flank, the AWP primed for this position, and Bodito's dropped. Now it just has to be towards it. The tag damage that he did earlier on is significant, but it's not enough to give him the edge in that fight. KDO blindsides him, and SYMAN, they'll take the map 16-11.
That did not look like that round would be going the way of SYMAN. Yeah. It looked like Budapest 5 had done everything they needed, but unfortunately, Bodito makes the incorrect decision of